Question number 17 is to solve trigonometric identities. This is an interesting topic. But before we begin to solve the problems, a quick reminder and a humble request to all of you. Please do share my videos with your friends and your classmates. If you have found these explanation videos beneficial, please do subscribe to my channel, like these videos, and share it along. Now, getting back to this question, we have to solve this equation. Now, looking at this equation, we don't have much to work with. As you can see over here, there is sine square and right side there is sine. If you're substituting identities, how would you solve this? So, you know the sine square identity would be 1 minus cos square theta. But if I substitute over here, will it help me at all? No, it will just make it more complicated because there is another square and two different trigonometric functions. So that is not going to help. What I will do is I'll just write it all at one side. I'll bring everything at one and make the right side equal to 0. So it'll be 2 sine square theta minus 3 sine theta minus 2 equals 0. Now let's try to see what can I do over here. If you look carefully, this is power 2, this is just power 1, and there's a constant. Yeah, so what can you do over here is you can solve it as a quadratic equation. Now, instead of sine theta, I will just write it as x. So what is going to happen? It will be 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now we can solve this easily using calculators, right? Quadratic equation. We will do that now. All you need to do is mode, phi, and 3. This is how we solve quadratics. When you go to mode, there is equation, that is option phi, and this is power 2. Only option 3 gives you power 2. And now substitute the coefficients. First, starting with x squared, the coefficient is 2, then it's minus 3, and lastly, the entire number, it's minus 2 over here. So the answers we got is x is equal to 2 and negative half. So here x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus half. But is this x actually? No, it's sine theta. So let's substitute it back. It's sine theta equals 2 and sine theta equals negative half. Now, do you know what is the range of sine theta? If you know the sine theta graph, imagine you start over here, starts with 0, goes up to the maximum, comes down, and it'll be minimum, and it just continues the same, right? So the maximum is 1 here, minimum is minus 1. It can never have any other values other than 1 or minus 1. So here sine theta is 2. It's not possible. It's really wrong because sine theta can never be 2. So we can verify it by mode 1. We'll go back to the computing mode and let's take sine inverse of 2. It'll be a math error. So this shows you that it does not exist. But if you do over here sine inverse of negative half, that is 1 by 2, you're going to get an answer that's negative 30. So here what you can do is the first one, you can tell it's undefined, it's not there, you can just ignore. So this is not there. You can just tell theta is undefined, sine theta is undefined at 2. And over here we get theta equals negative 30. Okay, so this much, I hope everything is clear here. It's negative 30 degrees, but this is not the answer. The problem is, when you know the unit circle, see this unit circle, which will be something like this, and you have 0 degrees, this is 90, sorry, 90, 90, and over here it's 180, 270. Now, one more thing, if you look over here, the calculator is in degree mode. I've not changed radian because this is a writing question and there's no pi over here. So I'm doing everything in degrees because I find it easier to analyze things in degrees rather than pi. If you change it to radian, over here you should get 30 is pi by 6, negative pi by 6. So if you change it to radian, it will be negative pi by 6. But since it's writing, doesn't matter. Do everything in degree. And if they ask you to convert to radian, at the end, just convert it. I will tell you how to do such problems in a while. But for now, this is the unit circle from 0, 90, 180, and 270. Now, we need to know that there is something called cast diagram, C-A-S-T. Over here, the fourth quadrant, this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third, and the fourth. In the first quadrant, all are positive. That's good. But what is the second? Only sine is positive. Here only tan and only cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. First thing, here theta is negative 30. That means it comes like this, something like this. We don't take negative angles. We will convert to positive. So what is theta equal to in terms of positive? It will be minus 30 degrees plus 360. It's always to find the coterminal angle, you have to add 2 pi or 360, and theta is equal to 330 degrees. So now this is the thing. You can even check this answer. Look over here. If I press sine 330, I must get how much? Negative half. And yes, I'm getting negative half. So that's good. So I know 330 is somewhere over here. It is minus half. Sine will be only x, the sine, sorry, y values. Sine is negative half. But I know there is one more quadrant which will give me negative half itself. Is it the first quadrant? No, first quadrant it's only positive. So if I think so it is, if this much is the space, it'll be sine 30. It should be half. Let me just show you. Sine 30 degrees is positive half. Now if I go over here, see if you know the unit circle, you will get this easily, but I'm just trying to tell you the shortcuts here. It'll be something like this. Now this one will be 150 minus 30. The unit circle is always at a span of 30. So this is 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. This will be 210, 240, 270. Then here we have 300, 330. Sorry, that's not there. This is 270, 300, 330. And again, we go back to 0. That is 360 degrees. This is the unit circle. Now, I know sine 30 is half. Even if I try this point, that is 150, it'll be positive half itself. But I need negative half. So I will try this. One second, let me just put these two. This one is again half, and this one must be minus half. Now, this is because I know the unit circle very well, but even if you don't know, from this axis, see the difference is 30 degrees, right? Even on the left side, there must be a difference of 30 degrees. So I can easily understand it's either 30, 330, 150, or it must be 210. Let's check what is 210. It is negative half. So there are two answers here. Theta is 330, you will get negative half, and theta is 210 degrees also. The thing is, this keeps on repeating. If you add 360 degrees to it, again you will have negative half. If you keep on adding 360, it's going to be negative half. So we don't keep on adding 360, we just write 360 times k. K is an integer. It can be 1, 2, 3, anything. Even it can be minus 1, 2, 3. Because even if you subtract, keep on subtracting 330, 330, you will get negative half. See, if you subtract 360, sorry, you're getting minus 30. That is also a possible answer. It's infinite possible answers, right? So we just write 330 and 210 plus 360 times k. Over here also you need to write plus 360 times k. K is an integer. This is understood. You can write k belongs to z, that is integer, short form for integer. So this is the answer. You need to write so much, you will definitely get the answers, because if you're writing this means you know the knowledge, you understand. Now you can add a sentence over here. From unit circle, you will get this. Now I'm sure you might have this question in your mind. Oh my god, there is no way I'm gonna get this 210 with the figure which I did over here. So I'll tell you one thing. This is a long procedure, but you can try this. You will get one answer for sure, right? Then just keep adding 30. See, 330 we can easily get from the calculator. Now you need to find when sine is negative half. You can try sine 30, no. Sine 60, no. Sine 90, no. Just multiples of 30. This might work, not in all cases, but many cases it will work. So 150, you got again half. I want minus half, not at 180. But now if I do 210, I get it. See, I already have this. I can go here. Otherwise, an easier method is if you just know the signs of sine. I know this is positive, this is positive. First and second quadrant, no. Start from 180. After 180, which is the value? 210. In the first attempt only, you'll get negative half. Only try these six values, you'll get it. Why? Because we got sine as negative half. So this is the way. So that's how we solve it. We can see the answers. Now over here it's given in terms of pi, that's fine. But these are the correct, over here both it's given, sorry, I realize now. 210 degrees plus k, they have written k first and then 360, it's fine. You can write it as 360 times k, both are fine. Now, if you want to convert this to radians, if they mention in the question, write in radians. Don't worry, solve everything in degrees and then I will change it to radians. That is just by dividing the values by 180, you get it in terms of radians. 11 by 6, but don't forget to write pi. 11 by 6 pi. Even same over here, 210 divided by 180 would be 7 by 6 pi. That's how we can easily solve these problems. I know these are a little bit complicated, but practice many problems, you will be thorough with them. Now I will do this one as well. I'll do a few of these problems and then you will be used to it. Here we have 2 cos square theta plus 3 sine theta equals 3. Now look over here. This is not same as this. It's not cos and sine. It's not cos and cos or sine and sine. So what I would do is I would convert this to cos, because now it is very hard for me to solve because I can't take anything common out. I'll have to get this inside, right? And what will I take common out? Nothing. And it's not like 2 theta or anything. It's proper. It's cos square theta, sine theta. So here in this case, I will use the Pythagorean identity. I know sine square theta plus cos square theta equals 1. So you can just take the sine square to the other side. Subtract both the sides by sine square theta. Over here also sine square theta. This cancels. You're remaining with cos square theta equals 1 minus sine square theta. So it's going to be 2 times 1 minus sine square theta plus 3 sine theta. I'll take this 3 inside. Minus 3 is equal to 0. Now multiply this. 2 minus 2 sine square theta plus 3 sine theta minus 3 is equal to 0. And now we can simplify it. Minus 2 sine square theta plus 3 sine theta. Minus 2 plus minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1 is equal to 0. Now just like what we did in the last problem, we can write this in terms of x. It'll be in terms of x, not in terms of sine. So it'll be 3 minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals 0. Use your calculator to solve this quadratic equation. Here we have mod 5 and 3, minus 2 plus 3 and minus 1. The answers are 1 and positive half this time. So x is equal to 1 and x is equal to half. That means it's sine theta equals 1 and sine theta equals half. We just now did negative half. Now we can do positive half. See, 1, it's a good thing. There's only one value which reaches 1 in the sine graph for one cycle. So if you just do sine inverse 1, it's 90. Always remember, which are the values which don't have two of the answers are? It's 0, 90, 180 and 270. Whenever you have, say over here it's 0, 1, 0, minus 1. Sorry, 0 has two values. But you know, if it's 1 and minus 1 for sine, it's only one unique value. So you just write theta is equal to 90 degrees. That's it for 1. Because another one will be minus 1 for 270. You can try sine 270 is minus 1. Whereas for cos, it is different. It'll be 1, 0, It starts with 1, 0, minus 1, 0. It's different. Cos, it's like this. Okay. But anyways, whenever you see sine 1 or minus 1, you are only 1 theta answer. This is it. And what about over here? Again, use the calculator. It'll be sine inverse of half, 1 by 2. And we know it's 30, and just a while ago we tried and we found out the another answer is 150. So I'll directly write the theta is 30 and 150 degrees. Don't forget, each of this must have plus 360 degrees K. This is very important. Now, I forgot to tell you one more thing. You need to check these answers as well. How do you check? Now, we got three answers. We cannot be 100% sure that all these three are correct because there's quadratics involved. Extraneous solutions might occur. So, what is the easy method is? Get all the trigonometric functions to one side. Here it's easy. Just take the left side and type it in the calculator. 2 cos square, cos, instead of theta, put x, and this entire thing is squared, because cos square, that means, I'll just put the brackets properly, it's the entire thing cos. Okay, the cos trigonometric function, cos x to the whole squared. Cos square x is cos x the whole square, and then we will add a plus 3 sine x, that is over here sine alpha x. Now we will test the values. So instead of x now, let's substitute these values. I will calculate at 90. And the right side must be equal to whatever is the given equation. And yes, it is equal to 3. That's true. Now let's calculate for the next value, 30. And here we are getting 3. Okay, this is also the correct answer. Let's calculate at 150. And let's check whether we are getting, yes, all the three are the correct answers. Now here also you have to check and see, and over here whatever we got, both the answers are correct itself. So that's it. So this checking is very important to eliminate the extraneous solutions, which might be the solution over here when we solve it, but may not be true to the equation. So this is important. So that's how we solve this problem. And you can see the solutions are given over here. 30, 150 and 90. Yes, those were the solutions we got. Similarly, please do try this as well. I will do this one because it is cos 2 theta. Now here, remember, we have sine squared, cos 2 theta and cos theta. Without some identities, we cannot go ahead. Now, which is the identity to use? For cos 2 theta, there are plenty of identities. Now, the first identity you might remember, cos 2 theta equals cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. Now, if I use this one, it's the most ideal. Why? Because minus and plus, this cancels off, and then you're remaining with cos. Cos, you can use the method which we just now did. So let's start this. Sine squared theta plus, instead of cos 2 theta, I'm going to write cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. That is equal to cos theta. Now, what do we do here? We cancel this out and we will have cos squared theta. Bring this inside, minus cos theta equals 0. Now, you might be thinking, okay, why can't I just cos squared theta equals cos theta? Why can't I just cancel the squares and I can write just cos theta equals 1? The thing is, over here, you just can't, it's trigonometric functions. If you cancel like this, you are gonna not get the correct answers. So this is like, when you take the square root, there'll be plus or minus. So you need to consider that and all. So this is a problem. So you will not get the correct answer. So avoid such methods. Try to do the proper method as possible. See, this is the proper one. Cos square theta minus cos theta equals 0. I will change this to x square minus x is equal to 0. Now let's use the calculator and solve it up. I have substituted the coefficients 1, minus 1, and there's no constant, so it's 0. The answers are 1 and 0. So the x values are 1 and 0. X is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0. So cos theta equals 1, cos theta equals 0. Now for cos inverse of 1, we have a single value, that is 0, because if you know the cos graph, it starts from 1, keeps going down and like this, and then comes up, and then over here. So the important points over here are this point, this point, this point, this point, and then this is 360 degrees. So it starts with 0, 90, 180, 270, then 360, right? So when is cos theta equals 1? If you take cos inverse of 1, you will get 0 plus 360k. That's only one answer we have got over here. But what about the other 0? There are two zeros, isn't it? From unit circle also you can get this, or from the graph of cos. Or if you do it in the calculator, if you do cos inverse 0, you will get 90 degrees. For sure you're going to get this answer. This is true, but there is one more answer, that is 270 degrees as well. Don't forget this. Plus 360k for both, plus 360k. Now these are the three solutions. It's 0 degree, 90 degrees, 270 degrees. Now we need to quickly do a check as well. So what I'll do is to check this. I'll get this cos theta inside. It'll be easier. It'll be sine square theta plus cos 2 theta minus cos theta equals 0. So type this particular equation in the calculator. That is sine square. So first write sine x, close the brackets properly, use the brackets and square it up. And then we have got plus cos 2 into x. You can just write 2 alpha x, that's fine. It's multiplication automatically. And then we have cos alpha x. Now this is the equation. Whatever we type, the answers must give us 0. Let's start with calculating at 0. Yes, we are getting 0. That's correct. Let's calculate at 90. We are again getting 0, and we should do at 270. It will be 0. So now these are the answers. Since they have not asked us to solve in radians or anything, you can just leave the answers like this. You can see here. Okay, here you can see the 0 degree is correct, but 90 degrees is also correct, but they have written 180. Why is that? Because we know cos graph for 90, it keeps on repeating, right? It keeps on repeating at 180 degrees, not at 360. But if you write like this, 90 degrees plus 360, 270 degrees plus 360, it's absolutely correct. But if you want to write only 90, because we know every time cos graph will be at 0 at 180 degree period, you can just do 180 into k. But if you you can stick to what I did, or you can stick to this. But please remember, if you're doing this, make sure you change the period. It's not 360 times k, it is 180 times k. So I would personally suggest you just go with this method, which I've done all the time. This is going to work. So this one again, please do try solving this by yourselves, because this is again straightforward. You just take this to the other side, use quadratic, solve it, you'll get the answer. And the worked out solution is also available over here. You can check it out. Please do test as well, and you will get the correct answers. Now here we have a real life situation problem. Due to ocean tides, the depth y in meters of the River Thames in London varies as a sine function of x. The hour of the day on a certain day, that function was y equals 3 sine pi by 6 of x minus 4 plus 8, where x is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it keeps on going till 24, corresponding to 12 midnight, 1 a.m. Okay, so 0 means it's 12 midnight, 1 means 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., this x values. So if we get x of 5, it is 5 a.m. till the next night's 12 midnight. So 24 hours are mentioned. What is the maximum depth of the River Thames on that day? At what times does this maximum depth occur? Okay, this is interesting. Now, since it's a sine function, we need to see when it is maximum. Y can be maximum when the sine function is maximum, right? They want to find the maximum depth of the river, and it's varying based on sine function. When is sine function maximum? When is sine theta equals maximum? What is the value of maximum sine? It starts from 0, goes up like this. It's only maximum at 1. So 1 is the maximum. If you know the range, it's 1, minus 1, comma 1. This is max. So sine theta must be 1. So whatever is over here, it must be 1 basically. So the easier way would be you can just directly do 3 into 1 plus 8. I think so. This is fine. You can just do it like this. So you can tell over here. You can just write instead of putting sine 0. To tell sine function is maximum at 90 degrees. So you can substitute this as 90 degree and solve. But otherwise, you can just tell them y is equal to y is equal to 3 times 1, because this should be maximum in order to have the maximum depth, plus 8, and this will be 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11 must be the answer. Let's just check the answer for a minute. And yes, 11 meters. Over here it's given in meters, so we can just directly do this, and that's also fine. But you need to write in detail, because it's writing. You can use any methods and solve. Just make sure you write it and tell them maximum function sine function can be 1, and this is the reason why you can directly substitute it. Now for the part B, what time does the maximum depth occur? Here you must remember, we just now did sine theta equals 1, isn't it? So this x value you need to substitute, you need to solve. Basically, we know theta at the maximum depth must be equal to this, and then solve for x. In other words, if you know the sine graph, it starts from 0 like this, right? So over here, what is the theta value when sine theta is 1? It is 90 degrees. If you don't understand the graph, don't worry. Just do theta is equal to sine inverse 1. Why? Because we are dealing with the maximum depth, nothing else. So it is 1 sine inverse of 1. Theta will be equal to 90. This is how we get it in the calculator. I'll just show you. So you can press shift and sign and then put 1 and you will get 90. But here it is in pi. So what we will do is, for this problem, let's shift the mode to radian. Shift mode and we will get radian. 90 degrees in pi is pi by 2. So we must get pi by 2 or half pi. So this made our job very easy. Why? Because now I can just tell this part, pi by 6 times x minus 4 must be equal to pi by 2 or half pi. Why? Because that time it's maximum. Now just solve it. Pi cancels. Take the 6 to the other side. X minus 4 is equal to 6 by 2. X minus 4 is equal to 3. 4 goes to the other side. It is x is equal to 3 plus 4, that is 7. So at x is equal to 7, it is maximum. So we can just see over here, it should be 7. Okay, now why is it 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.? Why is it? Why? Because now if you know the sine graph, it starts like this, it keeps on repeating, right? Now the maximum value at 7, it comes again. So here after 12 hours again it will repeat itself. So it will be 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. This is the reason. So this is how we can easily solve it up. You can do the short methods. As long as you have written everything properly, that's more than enough. You can directly solve it up. Now here we have few more problems. I will do this one because this looks a bit complicated, but it's not that. So what do we do over here? We have sine 2 theta, we have cos, we have sine. So whenever you have double angle identity, please use the identity and split it out. So we will write cos theta multiplied by sine 2 theta can be written as 2 sine theta cos theta minus 2 sine theta plus 2 is equal to 0. And now over here, multiply this cos theta inside. What's happened? These two are multiplication, right? It will be 2 sine theta. There's no plus or minus, so don't do distributive property. This is one term, just multiply it. Cos and cos is repeated, so it will be cos squared theta minus 2 sine theta plus 2 equals 0. Here, how we can simplify it further? I can see 2 is common. I can divide all the sides by 2, left side and the right side. 0 divided by anything will be 0 itself. So it will be 2 will just go off. Sine theta cos square theta minus sine theta plus 1 will remain equals 0. What I can do is I can take this 1 to the other side and just solve these trigonometric functions, because now I can't simplify anything further. So that plus 1 goes to the other side and becomes minus 1. Now here I can see sine and sine. Let me take the sine theta common outside. What remains? Cos squared theta minus 1 is equal to negative 1. And now we can equate this to negative 1 and this to negative 1 and solve it up. So sine theta equals minus 1. Cos squared theta minus 1 is equal to minus 1. And now let's see what is sine squared negative 1. This is going to be minus 90. Uh, yeah, it is negative 90. You can just use a calculator and double check. Over here, theta is equal to negative 90. But I'll use the, over here, I'll simplify and then I'll show it in the calculator. Minus 1 goes to the other side, it becomes plus 1. So cos squared theta is equal to minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Right? Because this becomes minus 1 plus 1. And take square root on both these sides, it's going to be cos theta equals 0. Now you need to find when cos theta is 0. There are two answers in this case. Why? Cos theta. Yeah, cos inverse of 0. So theta will be, let's solve it up now. So we can do sine inverse of negative 1, that is minus 90. So that's one answer. And what about the, here, it'll be cos inverse of 0. One answer is 90, and I will show you cos 90 is 0. Yes, but even cos 270 is also 0, isn't it? So we have two answers basically. Now that 270 degree is a common answer over here. What is the coterminal angle? Theta is equal to minus 90 plus 360. That is theta is equal to 270 degrees. Here also we got it. 270 plus k into 360. And here we got two answers. Theta is 90 plus k into 360, or the same answer, or theta is equal to 270 degrees plus 360k. So you just write it once. So these are the two answers. Now they have told do it in radians. Now first of all, I have changed my calculator mode back to radian. I generally clear it every now and then. When you clear your calculator, it gets back to radian. If you're not getting the answers properly, check, sorry, it's in degrees over here, so check which mode it is. Now I have put my calculator back to degrees, so therefore I get everything in degrees. Now if I make it to radian, I'll get in radian. Now then we need to do the check as well, so I will quickly do the check. So I will take this 2 to the other side, it becomes minus 2, and this is gone for the checking of this problem. Here we have cos alpha x, close the bracket, and then we have sine 2 alpha x. See, if you write it together, it's already understood it's a multiplication. Then we have minus 2 sine alpha x. And then I've taken the 2 to the other side. So I don't write numbers at this side. So let's calculate at 90. 90, let's start at 90. It must be minus 2. Yes, because 2 goes to the other side, it's minus 2. Let's calculate at 270. And look over here, it's not minus 2, it's positive 2. So that means this is extraneous solution. So the only answer over here would be 90 plus 360. Please keep this in mind. This is the correct answer, not these two, not the 270 degrees. So the answer must be only one here, and yes. And I forgot to tell you to convert back to radians, because I've clearly mentioned 90 means pi by 2 in terms of radian. And when you're writing in terms of radian, so pi by 2 plus 2 pi k. This is what we write, because 2 pi means it's 360 degrees and k is the integer. That's how we do it. Now here this is a simple problem but looks complicated. I'll just tell you how to do this quickly. Here, just consider sine theta equals x and simplify. It'll be 2x squared plus root 2 minus 1x, and bring this inside. Minus root 2 by 2 is equal to 0. Use your calculator to solve this quadratic equation. Substitute the coefficients 2. Now here, let's use the bracket. As it is, just type it out. See, now over here you need to be careful with the brackets and everything. It's root 2, close the bracket, minus 1. Now we had opened the bracket initially, I'll close that as well. If you want, you can avoid that first and last bracket because that's not necessary. So that is done. It'll automatically compute it, and even over here. So we have root 2, close the bracket, divided by 2. But I forgot to write the minus sign, which will give me an error otherwise. I'll write minus root 2 divided by 2. That's the answer. It's negative 0.707. Now press equal to. The answer is half. And now we just now type this. This is also one same answer, okay? The the answers, I just forgot the answers. X was 1 or half. Let me just double check it. It is half and negative root 2 by 2. X is half. And I'll write this. X is negative 0.7071. I know this is negative root 2 by 2 itself. But now I will tell you how you can, even if you write this, you can get the correct answer itself. This is all sine theta, okay? So sine theta equals half, and here sine theta equals negative 2 root 2 by 2. Now, how do you find the theta value? Just take the inverse. Go to computation mode and press shift and sine 0.5. We know this is not the only answer. There is one more answer. Yes, theta is 30 degrees, but at the initially first problem we had seen, it is also 150 when it is half. Now, what about this? Here, if I put sine inverse, let me take the decimal, minus 0.7071. What is the answer you're getting? You're getting negative 44.999, which is almost negative 45 degrees, right? But if you put the exact value, that is root 2 divided by 2, you will get the exact answer of negative 45 degrees. But otherwise also, it shows you it's almost 45. Okay, so this is theta negative 45 degrees. Now everything is plus 2 pi k. We need to convert it to radians as well. I'll tell you in a minute about that. But over here, what is the other answer? Now, since it is 45, it is very, very easy. CAST, cast diagram. Now, we want negative root 2 by 2. We know it is negative 45. That means the answer over here is negative 45. That means it is at this point over here. Okay. So that will be middle of 270 and 360. You should just add 270 plus 45. I'll just do it over here directly. 270, this is 360. If you just add 360 here, you get the coterminal angle. So it will be 315 degrees. So this one, 315, is exactly in the middle of this. Because I know it is sine negative root 2, it can't be this and this. Why? It can't be 45 degrees because I'll have positive root 2 by 2 over here. I'll have positive root 2 by 2 because sine is positive over here both. So it must be this one, 180 plus 45, that will be 225 degrees. So these are the solutions, this 225 and 315. So theta is 315 and also 225 degrees. Now we need to convert this to radians. How do we do that? Take any angle, just divide by 180, and in terms of pi we need to write 1 by 6 pi. So that will be the answers over here. You can see it's pi by 6 is same as that. 150 is basically 5 pi by 6. I can show you it is just 150 divided by 180, and that is the answer. That is 5 by 6. And over here we have 225. 225 divided by 180 is 5 by 4 pi. And lastly we have 315, that is 7 by 4 pi. And now if you have checked, you need to check it over here. You won't have any extraneous solution because all are the solutions. Let us do the check as well. I just erase this. To check, you need to type this as it is. 2 sine alpha x, open the bracket for sine, and again close it up, square it up, plus, now here it is root 2 minus 1, sorry, root 2 and minus 1, close the bracket, and I'll put sine alpha x. Now it'll take a long time if the check is in terms of pi, so I will just use degrees. I'll do shift. It's already in degrees, so it's fine. So I'll just do calc at 30 degrees. I must have this right side as the answer. Yes, it is correct. I'll do calc 150. Yes, it is again correct. Calc 225. I'm getting the same answer. And lastly, calc 315. And over here, all the four answers are the correct solutions. So this is how we solve it up. Now please do solve this by yourselves. Over here, we have done similar problems. Just substitute the values, split it out, and then solve it up. Here, these are the answers, and over here also we get the answers. Now, if you're thinking how to solve this, don't go to do any identities. You can easily split this out. So this part is cos squared theta. Now then you can easily solve it. Cos squared theta minus cos theta. Bring this inside minus 3/4. And find the values and then check the values. Here also they are pretty simple. We just now did them. Solve it by yourselves and then check the answers. We did similar problems. Please make sure to check that the extraneous solutions are found. If there is a wrong solution, don't add it in the final solution. Do the check and then you can just mark extraneous solution and the proper solutions. That's the end of this topic. Please do and try to solve all these problems by yourselves and then check for the answers.